Get the money. Queens get the money. Queens get the money. Queens get the money, yeah. I'ma knock it out the park with this one. I'ma knock it out the park with this one, yeah. I'ma knock it out the park with this one. Queens get the money. Queens get the money.
Welcome to Queens Get the Money. You know what's crazy about that intro, Tom? Is that I'm looking at that intro. I'm just like, half that intro is on an IL.
Yeah, basically all of them at this point.
Unbelievable. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I mean, after today's win, I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, me too. I think if anybody doesn't know, Mets walk it off against the Tigers in the 10th inning. Carson Bench gets a hit, gets my man AJ Ewing in, and Mets win 2 games in a row. They take the series against the Tigers, so pretty good. Good and bad. You see the title of the actual thumbnail. Mets can't have good things. We had AJ Ewing had the great performance last night. Uneven performance tonight, but still, Mets get a victory, and Alvarez is out. Soto banged up. What the hell is going on, man?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a curse going on. I don't know if the Danhausen curse went the wrong way. I don't know.
It went to the Knicks, clearly.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. It's literally anytime you try to have some kind of good vibe this season, it feels like you get a quick shot in the gut with either somebody hitting the IL or they hit a little bit of a skid. The offense goes cold, and it's like you're feeling really good about yesterday. AJ Ewing comes up, gets his first hit I think he got an RBI on it. I don't remember. He had a triple, was his first hit.
No, it wasn't an RBI. He just got a
triple. Looked like he was like the most. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm exaggerating. He looked like the most patient guy going up in his first Major League Baseball game. It was crazy. I don't know how he wasn't swinging out of his shoes all day yesterday.
Because that's not him.
Yeah.
If you watch him in the minors, he's always been a very patient guy.
Yeah.
Just as many walks as strikeouts. Like, he doesn't strike out a lot, and he walks, and that's his game, and it's great.
But then, we get Alvarez tearing his meniscus, so he's going to be out for a while. And then today, Soto fouls a ball of his ankle, has to come out of the game, which sucked because there were runners on base. And I was like, MJ Melendez came up, and like, as much as I've liked what MJ does this year, it's like you really just want Soto up in that spot.
You want Soto in that spot because of what the potential of that spot can do for him, right? He can be able to hit a bomb. He can, he's gonna manufacture get on base and get a walk or something like that. He puts so much pressure on a pitching staff that MJ Melendez, no matter how good he's swinging the bat, does not have that type of respect. And that's the difference between Soto and a guy like Melendez, is that Soto demands a pitcher to be perfect. Like, you have to be on your game to be able to get stuff by Soto. Even when he's struggling the way he is, you still don't want to play around with a guy like that, because all it takes is one mistake and he'll take you deep.
Oh, totally. Like, it's so when Soto steps into the box, regardless if he's slumping or not, the pitcher, like you said, the pitcher that's on the mound knows that I got to execute these pitches. Yeah. When MJ Melendez steps up, sure, he's contributed in a lot of spots. That pitcher he's like, okay, here's my out. I have some guys on base, but here's my out. I got runners at the corners. I'm going to get out of it here because MJ Melendez is going to strike out. Turns out it was Benj got thrown out at home on a double steal, but it's still the same thing.
Why are they doing a double steal anyways?
Well, when your offense is struggling and you have to make the Tigers make the play because it's not an easy play. Like they threw down to second to try to get who I don't remember who, I think it was Bichette was stealing. Had to have been Bichette. Bichette was going to steal second. They had it's like almost a coin flip. I've seen plenty of those throws from second going to home go awry, and Benj could sneak in. It didn't work out. And
it's true. It's a good point.
We would have been having a different conversation had they lost this game.
Yeah, I think it'd be a little bit less enjoyable.
Yeah, well, definitely. No losses are enjoyable.
So let's get into it, man. I guess, we talked about it a little bit. AJ Ewing's debut, which was great. Exactly what we wanted to see. Young talent getting an opportunity. I believe, we talking about what we think about him before we went live, that this kid, if all goes well, can be your leadoff hitter for the next 10 to 15 years, right? Like,
agreed, yeah.
Has that type of potential to be great. And seeing how he did yesterday, just kind of it gives me, and I'm not gonna say like he's this guy, but that Jose Reyes type of vibe. That's
where my brain was going.
You got a guy that he can just do wonders on the base pads, and that in itself, can be able to manufacture runs.
Mm-hmm.
When things are not going well, you got a guy that gets on base. He can steal second. He can go ahead if the catcher is sleeping. He can steal third. Now the dynamic of that at bat completely changes, and now the pitcher is more worried about the guy on base than he is at the guy at the plate. So there's a lot of things that AJ Ewing can be able to do. Like if I'm Carlos Mendoza, I'm letting the kid loose. I'm just telling him, listen, if you get on base, just wreak havoc. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like just steal when you want to, do whatever you have to do, because we're depending on your energy and your tempo to be able to try to get things going. So I would definitely take the restricted plates off of him and just let him do his thing.
Oh yeah, and again at this point in this season, like you really have nothing to lose. I mean, for the most part, most of the league, most of the pundits that talk about the sport, a lot of the fans, like they're borderline checked out. They basically have just assumed that the Mets are dead, which rightfully so. They've been bad for most of, if not all of the season.
Yeah.
So now you can just basically kind of take a step back, realize we still have a lot of season left. It might not go the way that everybody had hoped, but now you have a chance to show the fans and show even the organization that there is hope. There are guys that are coming up. Like, we don't have to worry about you can worry a little less about what's going to happen with Luis Robert Jr. when you got a guy, if AJ Ewing is going to produce the level he did in his first, it's similar to what he did in his first game. If you got a guy that's going to play really good center field, is going to get on base and can wreak havoc on the base paths, like you said. Like this team needs that influx of like youth. Like this clubhouse has just been so beat down by losing and just crap. You need that like hungry fire of a kid that's 22 years old, just making it to the majors for the first time, trying to prove himself. Like sometimes you need that, you know?
What do we think about Christian Scott tonight? 4 2/3.
I don't like it. I don't like the Tigers are not really a good baseball team either.
No.
So like I wanted to see more out of Christian Scott. Like I wanted to believe that he was more like his second start than he was his first start. And this start kind of felt like he was somewhere in the middle. Like I needed more length. I needed you to at least go 5. I needed you to at least get to the 5th inning. Be able to qualify for a win.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put too much pressure on the kid just because he's still coming back and all these things. He has the stuff to compete. It's just that he hasn't had the ability to stay healthy enough to be able to stretch out really. So, I think he'll get there, but the stuff is really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the stuff is good. But yeah, I'm with you. I definitely want to see more length out of the pitching staff completely. Like it's not just with Christian Scott, it's with everybody. Like, it was good to see Freddy gut out 6 innings yesterday, right?
Huge.
After he started off the game like struggling mightily. Yeah, I think he had like 48 pitches through two innings. It was horrible. You know what I mean? And got weathered the storm, got some luck, but ended up really having that gutsy performance that you want out of your ace, right? Like he hasn't been great for us, but he also hasn't been bad either, right? He's kind of like very, very in the middle. And for a lot of fans, people are just like, oh, well, is this what we paid for? It's like, well, yeah. I mean, this is a guy who, he can be able to pitch to a 2 ERA, or he's going to be somewhere in the mid threes. Like that's kind of his range, right? That doesn't mean that he's bad. The problem is that when your offense is so anemic, he has to be perfect.
Yep.
And Freddy Peralta has never been perfect. He's not a perfect pitcher. He's a guy that has good stuff, but he's never been perfect. So that's the catch-22 that we're in with him, is that, we're expecting him to be Jacob deGrom. That's not who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's the problem with the team as a whole, is like all of these guys have to be Jacob deGrom. Yeah. Like that's why it's like I want to see more out of Christian Scott. You are right that he is coming back from injury. He is still young, so he is still trying to figure it out. But it is also hard. In the same token, it is hard for me to put a lot on these pitchers, because like they're going up. The pitchers have to. I don't know if they actually do, but I feel like they have to go up onto the mound thinking, I can't give up a single run. I can't give up anything, because these guys might not have it behind me, and I might not get that run back.
Yeah.
Which is a lot to put on a team when you're going up against major league players. You know what I mean? Especially if you got a young Christian Scott. Like, the only thing that kind of alarms me with him is sometimes he loses the strike zone.
Yeah.
And Christian Scott coming up through the minors was always like I'm peppering the strike zone kind of guy. Like I am throwing strikes, and they're just going to have to hit him and put him in play. And he has lost it a little bit, which makes me a little nervous, but
well, you know what it is? Yeah, exactly. I think it just goes back into just lack of experience at the big league level. Confidence he's still gaining that confidence, right?
Yeah.
And what you just said, right? He's probably putting a lot of pressure on himself. I can't give up any runs. Instead of being relaxed going into your start, these guys have a sense of urgency that they have to be perfect. Yeah. And that's not a way to be on a team, because when you try to over prepare and you try to be too perfect, you end up making a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's where we are just as a team, as a pitching staff, outside of a few guys, right? You got Clay Holmes, you got McLean, you got, Peralta. Outside of that,
it's a lot of nothing.
It's a lot of hope.
Huascar Brazoban is an opener.
Yeah, Huascar Brazoban. Like, you see him, you see Brooks Raley, right? You kind of like, okay. But anything outside of that is just like, I don't know, man.
It is brutal. It's just so disheartening that when you see it, like I wasn't going to give up on the game, but when I saw that the Tigers had 2 runs and like I think it was the first inning, he gave up
that pity. You start feeling that shit in your stomach.
It's like, fuck, they're not going to get. They might get 1 run. They're not going to get 2. They're not going to get 3. Like they might get. No, it's like if the Tigers had a 1-run lead, I can talk myself into, okay, the Mets offense is bad. They can get 2 runs. Right. I think they can get 2 runs. Once it goes to 2, I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if they're going to get 3. Which is sad.
It really is sad, man. It really is sad that we have such on paper, we have such good players on this team, and it's just so anemic. It's frustrating. But
all those players that we have on paper are on the injured list.
Oh yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Good segue. Look at this statistic right here, or look at this list. Look at that. It's insane.
5, 6, 7. That's almost a start. That's like that. That's like 9. That's 9. Almost. That's 8 players right there.
That's insane. Like, what do you do with that?
I mean, I'm mostly concerned. I'm obviously like I think the Lindor and Alvarez one is the one that hurts the worst. I guess I didn't expect Lubov.
Lindor will be back, right? Lindor will be back. Robert, I don't know. Polanco, don't know. Alvarez, it's a meniscus, right? So he will be back, but how he's going to be because he swings so violently, I don't know what that's going to look like, him coming back. Senga, we don't know. Ronnie, we know that it's a fractured thumb. He'll be back, right? Jared Young, meniscus. AJ Minton, they don't have my man on there either. They don't got my man Talkman. He's gonna be back soon. So there's a lot of hope here that these guys can come back and contribute, but there's also some guys on here that you just like, yo, dude, like, are we ever gonna see them again this season?
Yeah, I mean, and you just have to hope that like they're, because again, like I am not. It's May 13th. I'm still not in the business of just saying the season's over. You have to hope that some of those guys are going to be able to come back and contribute and push them towards some kind of relevancy.
Yeah.
And hope that it's not too late. Like Lindor, it was really encouraging to hear that Lindor's out of the walk-in boot. He's walking around. You saw him walking around a little bit pregame today. So that's kind of exciting. Hopefully we get to see him start like actually, playing some kind of baseball if they're going to stick him in the minors and give him some rehab starts. But it's just like, it's so painful to see that like this team had so much, at the start of the season had so much promise, and everybody just injury after injury after injury. It's like last year. I mean, last year, everything was going good. Everything was going pretty good. Griffin Canning blows out his Achilles and everybody else gets hurt behind him. You know what I mean?
He's pitching phenomenally.
He is doing pretty well. How often did you think? I didn't expect him to catch lightning in a bottle twice. Evidently, he did. I hope he played lotto.
But my thing is that why wouldn't we just give him a chance?
I think they should. I mean, I guess it was. I mean, like he was pitching. I mean, he was pitching out of his mind last year. Like he was, but he was a year removed from being literally the worst pitcher in baseball.
Yes.
So I don't blame the Mets for being like, I don't know if after blowing out your Achilles, if I'm gonna trust that again. You know what I mean? They should have. In hindsight's 2020. They absolutely should have.
Yeah, just for depth purposes, right? Because you don't necessarily have to rely on the guy, but for depth purposes, I think he would have definitely been able to be good. You know what I mean?
You know what question I need answered? Like I desperately need answered.
From who?
I need from David Stearns, from somebody in the Mets. Why am I looking at a season where Tariq Skubal, loose bodies in his elbow, Edwin Diaz, loose bodies in his elbow, both of them required surgery,
and they didn't?
Why the fuck is Sean Manaea? Why did he not get surgery last year? If everybody else, if loose bodies in the elbow means we need surgery to fix this, why the hell is Sean Manaea pitching all of last year and then looking like an absolute looks like a beer league softball pitcher this year?
Does this come down to Sean Manaea not wanting the surgery? Because as an organization, you can't force a guy to get surgery.
I guess you can't, but
I honestly, Tom, I think that's the only answer here. Because if they say, hey, listen, we recommend that you go ahead and go clean this up, and Sean Manaea says, well, I don't want to clean it up. I think that I can be able to just rehab this thing. They can't force him to get the surgery.
I guess that's true, but I mean, don't you think, I feel like we would have heard. I know that the Mets are pretty tight-lipped about a lot of things. I mean, not so much after, maybe we'll get a story a year later from John Heyman.
I don't think that because of what you just said, because they're so to the vest, you're not gonna hear those things leak. You're just not. You know what I mean? But it is very peculiar that a guy who's had loose bodies in his elbow since last year, we're now a year removed from that, and he still has the same loose bodies, and his velocity has ticked up a bit, but he looks like he's throwing junk up there, like you said. Like
he's worse. He's worse than last year.
He's literally just throwing garbage up there. So I don't know, man.
I wonder what the rules like. You can't force somebody to go get the surgery. I totally understand that, but is there? I don't know. Like, is there something a team can do because this guy is like he's clearly damaged goods. Like he's clearly hurt. Like if this is the case, like are you willing to just throw games away because you're paying this guy a lot of money? Like you're just like, all right, we know he's hurt. We know he's got these loose bodies in his elbow, but we're paying him a lot of money, so I guess we'll just run him out there. Like how does that? I just don't understand how that makes sense. You know?
I think them sticking him in the bullpen is kind of the way of just stuffing him in the closet.
But they've had to rely on him.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, so I don't get it. Like we're never gonna get it, but I would love some kind of answer to that. Like it'll probably be when Manaea's off the team, and there'll be some article written about this is what happened to Sean Manaea, and I don't know, man. It's just it was blowing my mind. When I saw Skubal was going to be down for a while, I was like, isn't that the same thing that Manaea's been dealing with for a year and a half now?
Yeah, and it's just when you think about it, man, when you think about it, this is year 2 of a 3-year contract, which means that you can't trade him. So you're going to have to come back again with the same guy next season, making $25 million that might not be able to give you anything. So you literally just threw $75 million down the drain.
Yeah, lit it on fire.
And now you're gonna have to go ahead and go fill that spot or try to see. It's just I don't know, man. It's nothing about that signing to me was good. I didn't like it. I like Manaea because he was so passionate about returning to the Mets. That was cool. But I was just like, I would rather Severino. I wanted Severino more than I wanted Manaea.
Yeah, I guess so, but I think we're forgetting how good Manaea was in 2024.
He was good, but again, I always look at a guy's baseball card. I know what you were when you were in Oakland. I know what you were. Like you weren't that great. Like
well,
you know what I mean? Like,
but in the same token, neither was Sevy.
Yes, but Sevy had better stuff, and Sevy had some injury problems, right? But the stuff was always elite. Sean Manaea has never had elite stuff.
Well, Sevy's, I guess maybe after he fixed the tipping his pitches thing, because he was tipping his pitches for a little while with the Yankees.
Yeah, but he's always had elite stuff, man. And the Manaea thing, it didn't bother me that they gave him the 3-year deal. It bothered me with how much money they did give him. And I was just like, 1 year is going to give you that much money?
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Like you're getting paid like you're a top pitcher in baseball. You're not.
He's close to making the most money on the staff.
Yeah.
If he's not already.
I think he's the highest paid on the staff.
I think you're actually right.
The highest paid on staff right now.
Which is crazy.
Second highest is who? It's Senga, I believe.
Yeah.
And then it's Holmes.
Oh yeah, I honest to God, I keep forgetting that Freddie hasn't gotten paid yet.
Yeah. Freddie's making what, $8 million?
Yeah, like literally nothing. He was a discount.
So, it's to have Sean Manaea as your highest paid pitcher going into whatever season it was just it's kind of silly. Like, I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of silly when you think about it. Let's go ahead and have a broader conversation since we're just sticking with the injuries. Is it time to call a spade in regards to Francisco Alvarez? Is it done for him here? Because it kind of seems that way for me. Listen, they're clearly gonna give him another opportunity to come back.
Yeah.
Once he recovers and he's gonna be on this team. I'm just saying that you might need to start looking for a new catcher, because I just don't think that this guy is ever going to maximize his power potential here, because since his rookie season, Tom, he's been hurt every season.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. One, I don't even know who is going to be coming up that's available at the catching position. I think we have to
Guerrero, baby.
Well, yeah, but I mean, no, but that's the thing. It's like what we said. Look, so what we were talking about before we got on the pod was, you don't see like you don't see the catchers of old, like the Yachties, the Piazzas, all of that stuff is gone, because if you can produce offensively, you're going to get moved to a different position because of what's happened to Alvarez. Like, Alvarez is hurt every year because he's a catcher. He beats his body up. You know what I mean? Catchers are injury prone like crazy. So no, I don't want to see Chris Suero be a catcher if he's going to hit and be a good, like, dominant force in the lineup. I don't want him to be a catcher because I don't want this happening again. I don't want a guy, you know, playing catcher and just getting hurt all the time. I'd rather stick him in the outfield, stick him at first base, stick him somewhere that isn't going to be as demanding on your body as it is to be a catcher, you know? So,
but I also don't want to see Luis Torrens be our starting catcher every day. I can't see that either.
I guess so, but I just think we have to temper our expectations of what we would expect from the catching position, because the catching position is no longer a position of offense. It's a position of, can you throw guys out? Can you call a good game? Can you block pass balls? And when you come up and you're batting like 7th, 8th, 6th, 7th, or 8th, can you get a hit maybe? Like, the days of us expecting Alvarez to be that old school, I'm going to call a good game and mash home runs, I think those days are dead. Like, I think those days might be dead. I think we have to temper our expectations of what we're expecting out of the catcher position, at least offensively.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. You know, you would love to get, you know, some offense out of your catcher, because you know, you do have some guys that are out there that are great catchers. Obviously, you know, Kyle Raleigh is the top of the top with the power. You have Jeffers. You have, you know, there's a lot of guys out there that do have the potential to have 20, 30 home run power. And you think that you have a guy like that, but he can't stay healthy. And if he can't stay healthy, like, there's no way you can be able to pay Alvarez knowing that his injury history is what it is. You just can't.
Oh no, but I don't even know. When is Alvarez a free agent?
Another couple of years.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, he's definitely got some more, at least 2 or 3 more years left.
Yeah, maybe 27 or 28.
Yeah. So, look, I think that because they don't really have that many other options, it's going to be like, I don't even know. I don't even know who's a free agent going into next year. I'll have to look and see who we can get catching wise. Because again, I don't even think Suero is going to be ready by this year or next year. He's still in. Is he still in single A or is he in double A?
I think he's in double A now.
But oh yeah, he is. Yeah. No, he's in single A.
He's in single A?
Oh, he might have just moved up actually. Yeah. No, Rumble Ponies. You're right. He's with the Ponies.
Yeah.
What is he doing right now? Let's see. 2026. He's batting 167, so that's not good. 5 home runs, 4 doubles, 1 triple, which is crazy for a catcher. In 26 games. So, I mean, he's probably still a little ways away. He's only 22.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel bad for Alvarez because, like, you can tell that he's one of those, like, high energy guys, like, really wants it, like, really wants to be that great player. He just can't stay healthy.
He cares, man. He cares. It's just that, you know, I talk about it all the time that some of these guys, their body fails them. You know what I mean? Like, it's there's nothing they can do about it. You can be able to work out, eat good, and he's slimmed down. He's not as big. He got himself into really, really good prime shape this off season, and it still doesn't matter. It's just some guys just get hurt. But for the Mets as a team, as an organization, you got to start thinking about looking past an Alvarez, because if he can't get you through, you know, if he can't catch 100 games, then I can't rely on you. I can't rely on you to be here to just eat up a roster spot when all we're looking at from you is just potential. Oh, you have the potential to do this. Like, at some point, potential wears off.
Got to do it. Yeah, you got to do it. And I feel like that's what Alvarez has been since he came up. It's the potential of being that big guy. And I will say I'm going to put my hand up and I'm going to take an L, because there are definitely some really good hitting catchers still. Shane Langoliers, Ivan Herrera, Sean Murphy, Yanier Diaz, Gabriel Moreno, Alejandro Kirk.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a good 10 in the league that are pretty good.
I would love Shea Langoliers on
Everybody
the Mets.
would love Shea. Everybody.
It has
would love
nothing to
Shea
do with the
Langoliers.
fact that his dad grew up a Mets fan and named him after Shea Stadium. It has absolutely nothing to do with that.
That's the fact that he can hit tanks. That's why we love him.
He batted 277 last year, 31 homers.
Bro, he's a hitter. And that's what I'm saying.
And he's an athletic, so you know what that means? He's available.
Comes cheap. Comes cheap.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You could probably hoodwink him with a couple of prospects that we don't care about.
I think that the A's would take Alvarez. They would take Alvarez and they would take some other prospects and give us Langoliers. They would. Because they'll know that they'll be getting another catcher and they might be able to turn him around. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. If I'm the Mets, I'm considering it. I am considering. I would consider moving on from the Francisco Alvarez experiment because I think you need more pop.
I think you have to, man. This is a guy who I think can be able to salvage his career. He might not be able to salvage it here.
He's still young too. How old is Francisco?
24, 25. Like he's not that old.
He came up young.
Yeah, I think he came up when he was like 21. Remember, he was our number one prospect at that time.
Francisco Alvarez. I can't spell at all. Francisco Alvarez, 24.
Yeah, so
he's still a kid.
He's still one of the youngest catchers in baseball.
Yeah,
that's what I'm like. There's a lot of time. The problem that I'm having is that every time you have a major injury, you slice years off of your career. So he might be 26 in natural age, but his body isn't.
I think that's but that's I think the fundamental problem with expecting a lot out of your catcher.
Well, I'm not even talking about him just wearing down from catching. It's just him. It's just him. Like he's just a injury-prone player. It has got nothing to do with him catching.
Honestly, though, I am a little nervous of letting Alvarez, like giving up on Alvarez, and it turns into the Travis d'Arnaud effect, where like he'll go to Oakland for a little while. He'll heat up a little bit, and then the Phillies, Braves, or surging Nationals will go scoop him up, and he'll make our lives miserable.
Well, listen, that is definitely a potential of happening. But if you're going to get a guy like Langoliers or somebody who is a bona fide 20-plus home run hitter at that position, you take that risk.
Oh, totally. Yeah. If in a perfect world, if that's the package that gets us Shea Langoliers, I think I would at this point in time, I'd probably do it.
Yeah, like that's my thing. Move on from Alvarez, but make sure you have a sound plan of who you're moving on to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't just move on from him just to move on from him. Make sure that you have something in place.
Yeah, and I would say, like, I am still pulling for the kid. Like, he's going to still, like, he's more than likely still, I mean, we're talking about trading him for Shea, but more than likely, Francisco Alvarez is coming back in, what they say he'd probably be out, like 6 to 8 weeks. Yep. Yeah, he'll come back in a month. He's going to get all of his opportunities. I hope he makes the best of them. I hope he comes up and just starts mashing again. But no,
that's what I want to see. Yeah, I want to see him go. I want to see him go through a stretch where he hits 8 tanks in a month.
I'll take that.
You know what I mean? Like that. That's what I want to see. I want to see him do that.
I will take that 10 times out of 10.
So, hoping all the best for Alvarez, but I'm on the side of it may be time to send him to Mars. We talked about injuries. Let's go ahead and move on to Ryan Clifford. You, sir, are obsessed with Ryan Clifford.
I absolutely am.
I'm gonna start maybe reporting your text for spam on my phone.
Listen, you did it with Ronnie. Let me do it with Ryan Clifford.
I definitely did do it with Ronnie. But listen, Ryan Clifford looks good. He looks good. He has a lot of power. He's a guy who has tremendous potential. He's not a Keith Hernandez style defender at first base, but he is a competent first baseman that can play the position.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to take for him to get called up? Because Soto clearly is not going to go on the IL. I hope not, right?
Yeah.
He should be fine. But can you double check if they've officially put Alvarez on the IL? Because if that's the case, then Senger's coming up, right?
Yeah, he has to.
Senger's coming up. But is there a spot for Ryan Clifford to come up if they wanted him to come up right now?
I would love it. I just don't think so, simply because Alvarez has been put on the IL. They're just they just haven't announced, I guess, what the roster move is going to be yet, which is going to be Sanger.
Yeah.
But I think I would love to see it happen, but I think they're too committed to giving Vientos as much rope as he needs. Like, because Ryan Clifford's coming up here. You're not bringing him up here to DH. You're bringing him up here to play first base because that's where he's playing in the minors, and you need him to get playing time. I just don't, as much as I would love to see it happen, I don't think you're seeing Ryan Clifford come up here unless we get an injury to Mark Vientos. Or even, I think you'd probably have to see an injury to Mark Vientos and Brett Beatty.
Both,
because like you say, both of them.
Both of them.
You'd have to see that before we get Ryan Clifford, which kind of stinks because he is mashing a little bit in the minors. He's got 7 home runs right now. I think he's only batting like 241, which isn't great, but
that's him. That's gonna be him.
He's got 7 homers, 22 RBIs. He's got another big guy with a triple. That's kind of crazy.
What's his on base? It's gonna be around anywhere between 370 and 380, probably
316 actually.
316.
Yeah. Well, Clifford 316.
Interesting.
But so I think that as much as I would love to see Ryan Clifford come up here, I think he just doesn't have a spot right now. Like AJ Ewing, it was easy to call him up.
Yeah.
Because Luis Robert Jr. is injured. So he's going to be injured for a while. He's going to have playing time. Clifford, I don't see it right now.
Right. If the Mets don't turn this thing around, if they're not a playoff team, if it's another wasted season in regards to playoff aspirations, you think that these young kids can be able to save the perception of the season? Like, if they know that they're not going to make the playoffs and they just say, okay, let's call up Nick Morbido, let's call up Clifford in September, let's call up all of these guys and let's see what they have. Like, is that going to change the perception for you as a fan and a lot of other Met fans, just because you can be able to kind of get a glimpse of what the future may look like potentially?
Well, yeah. I mean, for the most part, go back. Like there were a lot of lost Mets seasons that like you're just kind of trying to grasp at straws to find things to get you excited about next year. And yeah, this season sucks, but if AJ Ewing is here, if he starts contributing really well, if Carson Benj, he's really starting to pick it up and really learn the game, that's great. If Morbido comes up, if we get an outfield, if our starting outfield by the end of the season is Nick Morbido, AJ Ewing, and Carson Benj, and all 3 of them are producing in some way, sure, you're going to be bummed if they don't make the playoffs. You're going to be absolutely disappointed. I'll still be incredibly disappointed, especially with the payroll the Mets currently have and all the stuff that we were spoon-fed in the offseason. But you'd be lying to yourself, unless you're a completely pessimistic fan, you'd be lying to yourself if you weren't saying, you know what? Yeah, this season sucked, but at least I did have something to watch. You might have a reason, like in all of those lost years. What was the reason to go to the ballpark? The reason to go to the ballpark was because I'm going to get to see Matt Harvey. The reason to go to the ballpark was because I'm going to get to see Jacob deGrom. The reason I get to go to the ballpark is I'm going to get to see David Wright. Like, if I get to have some young guys that I can be like, you know what, next year, if these guys are going to contribute, we might actually have something here. It's all about hope. If you don't have it this year, it's all about hope for next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, these kids can absolutely do that.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think that that's where I'm at. I think I know it's early, but I'm a big energy vibes guy, and I just don't think that this team has enough to fight all the way back. I'm not saying that they're not going to fight, but to be able to fight all the way back, to be able to play plus baseball again in regards to record wise, it's a lot. It's a lot to ask for, especially for a team that's still trying to search who the hell they are.
Yeah.
So I am more putting my focus and attention on paying attention to the minors, seeing what's going on there, seeing which one of these guys are going to get called up. Like, we were talking about Jack Wenninger, beforehand of him possibly being the next guy to get called up just because he's tearing it up down there, right? So yeah, I am definitely reserved to the point where it's just like, okay, like just give me the kids. Let me see what they have.
Yeah.
See how you can be able to blend them in. Like, don't do this platoon shit with them. Just let them play.
Yeah.
Let them play and let them see what they have and see what potential stars we have or what guys are going to be the ones that you put in packages to be able to get traded.
Totally.
That's a big thing, right? Like, not everybody that you have down there who's a stud is going to be on this team. It's just not the way it is.
Oh.
So, it might be evaluation time come, late June.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm looking at it.
Agreed. No, and you know what? And I loved what Mendy said. I don't remember if it was at the start of yesterday's game or at the end of yesterday's game when they were asking when a reporter asked him about Benj and Ewing, and he said that they're going to have to play. They asked him about the lefty-righty matchup, and he's like, they're going to get to play. They're going to play, and they're going to prove that they deserve to be here.
Gotta figure it out.
I'm paraphrasing. But you know what also is sometimes this team going back to last year, and I know a lot of the team is different, but going back to last year and into this year, all they know is losing in a down clubhouse. Sometimes something that can spark a clubhouse is the young guys that come up and are hungry to prove something, because the guys look at those guys and are like, wow, that's the spark. That's the joy that I used to have when I first came up here. And sometimes it revitalizes a locker room a little bit. You get to see that young, enthusiastic personality and persona and just vibe. And it's like, sometimes that's contagious.
It brings you back, right? Like, because, a lot of times, especially for these professionals, man, like, they're so far removed from the innocence of the game that, they've been getting paid. They've been in the league for a while. They just kind of, they understand the ebbs and flows and the dregs of the season, the drags of the season. But these young kids, they're just fresh out, like, yo, this is great. This is amazing. They're asking questions. They're a sponge. They're just happy to be there. And for a veteran, it's just like, oh, snap. I remember when I was like that.
Yeah. AJ Ewing was in high school 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's like, having guys around like that can be able to spark some type of, like you said, some type of vigor, some type of excitement, because the best teams have always been, to me, a mixture between veterans and young guys that you can be able to strike that good balance.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the way to build a great team. And they have the potential, man. It's just sometimes it's just not in the cards for you. And it might not be this year. It might be the Mets are building for next year. This might be a lost season. It really might be. It really might just be a lost season for everybody involved, right? Like, Soto may not have a good year. And and that's going to suck for him, just because I know the scrutiny that's going to come from that. But he might not have a good year. He might not have a year where he hits 35 home runs. He might hit 27 home runs this year, just because the offense is so anemic and so down, right? But I think that this is building for something else next year. I'm looking at this organization as they have something. They just have to find it. Like, they have to like pinpoint how they're going to formulate and put this shit together, man. But there's fragmented pieces that look really good. And hopefully Stearns can be that guy. I don't know if he is, but you know, there's something here that they can be able to kind of like create magic with.
The
So
New York Mets are exactly what David Stearns said in 2024. They are a team that is in the state of rebuilding while also trying to contend. And that's what he said in 2024. He said it, I think he said it at the end of the season. I think he said it during the playoff run, that they are a team that is in the process of rebuilding and trying to win. And that's what this team looks like. This team is a lot of guys making a lot of money on short-term deals because David Stearns is crossing his fingers and toes, praying that some of these young guys are going to come up and take these positions from these veterans that he gave this money to. That's what he's doing. And it is a little frustrating because a lot of those moves are not panning out at all. The guys are spending more time on the injured list than we've ever seen any of the Mets in the starting lineup ever before. And you know, it's Stearns is going to basically have to put his money where his mouth is. You really believe in these kids? Okay. Time to give him a shot.
Yeah,
it's time. Yeah. Every move you've made, every move he's made outside of Clay Holmes has not worked.
Yes, it's true.
Except for Sean Manaea for 1 year. Every move he's made outside of Clay Holmes hasn't worked. So the move that has to work is his faith in the kids, is his faith in the young players that are coming up. Because that's how, unless I'm wrong, and I don't think I am, the only moves that David Stearns made, I think we talked about it last week. I think Armand mentioned it last week. That the only moves that David Stearns made when he was in Milwaukee really was Lorenzo Cain and re-signing Christian Yelich. Everything else was like, we have to build this from within. We got to get some young guys up playing and producing. And I'm hoping, I'm assuming that that's what his plan was with the Mets. Like, I don't think he wanted to give a lot of big money deals and big year deals to a lot of these guys, because I think he's hoping like, no, we're going to grow this from the farm and have young players that'll be here for a while and are going to compete. And I'm not going to have to shell out millions and millions of dollars for a guy on a hope that he can capture what he did before. I'm going to get guys that are hungry now and are going to produce and be here while they're young and not pay for somebody when they're old. You know,
yeah, that's fair. I mean, listen, I will never have confidence in David Stearns. I'm completely.
You have no reason to have. You have no reason to have confidence.
But I believe in the Mets. I believe in that logo. I believe in that organization of hope. They give me hope every time that they put that jersey on. Every time I see that jersey, every time I see that logo, it gives me hope. Yeah, and that's all I can hang on to. And these young kids, just seeing a glimpse of their potential, it gives me hope. It gives me hope that they can be the ones to be able to lead us for the new generation, to be able to say, hey, remember when the Mets were really, really bad? Yeah, I can't remember the last time they were bad, because these guys are literally the cornerstones of this franchise, and they've turned this thing around. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want to see.
That's what we all want, and that's what we're gonna get it. It's not gonna be. We are not gonna be the miserable Mets forever. I will hang my hat on. I know in our life we're gonna see a World Series in our lifetime. I don't know when it's happening.
Hopefully before I'm 65 years old.
Me too. I want to be able to enjoy a World Series with my dad. But there is one thing I do have to bring it up, because I've been a staunch David Stearns defender.
Yes, you have been
forever now.
I was the other day, until you started to kind of turn a little bit, I was going to ask you, how much is he paying you?
Oh no, I can't. No, I wish he was paying me. He should pay me. I defended him to no end. I can't defend him anymore. But the thing that kind of sort of pissed me off a little bit was when he was doing when he was talking pregame yesterday, and he got annoyed at one of the reporters asking about Mendy's job, and gave that snooty answer of like, I'm not going to be addressing this every week. Well, you know what? Do you know why you're addressing this every week? Because the team you put on the field
is garbage.
Fucking stinks.
Exactly.
That's why you're going to have to field that every week, because the guys that you gave Mendy to play fucking stink.
Right. And the thing is, it's either you get that question asked, or you're going to get direct questions asked about your job. Which one would you like?
Yeah, exactly. Like, David Stearns. I am all for snooty, snarky David Stearns when the Mets are winning. David Stearns looking like a smug asshole in 2024 was funny to me. I loved it. I'm like, good. We got a guy that feels like he's smarter than everybody and looks like he's smarter than everybody. Coming off of one of the most embarrassing seasons last year,
if not
into this one, you have all of your higher than mighty, smarter than everybody tone has got to go out the window. You need to eat crow and realize this is not good enough. I don't even want to hear that we have the talent on the team.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
To contend. No, you are not doing enough. Like, your team is not enough. Don't tell me. I was totally okay with you walking Pete out the door. Pete at least played.
Right.
Jorge Polanco's Jed Lowry.
Right.
You know, Brandon
was injury prone his pretty much the majority of his career.
His whole career, yeah.
And it still gave him money.
Yeah. It's just that was like one of the few times where I was like, dude, are you really going to be an asshole right now? Are you really going to treat a reporter like that when it's a valid question? You're going to have to answer that. As long as your team keeps losing, I would almost ask him it every single time he speaks to the media. To be a dickhead.
The same person. Yeah.
Ask him it every single time. And then when he doesn't answer, be like, how do you feel about your job?
Right.
You know?
Seriously. Like, just like you said, you don't have the cachet or the respect in this town to be able to get the benefit of the doubt. You have proven nothing to do so.
No.
So you are in New York. You better answer these questions, because if you start to develop that type of icy relationship with the media, it's not going to end well for you. Just won't.
Or he'll just go up, or he'll just hide and not speak as much.
He'll hide. He'll keep everything to the vest, and it'll be Fort Knox in Queens, and we don't want that, because we saw Dolan do that with the Knicks, and that's when they were bad, and all of a sudden now they're good, and Dolan's like, hey, you guys want to come in and talk? Like, no, motherfucker. Like, you need to be available all the time through the good and the bad, and take accountability for the mistakes that you made.
Yeah,
because he's made a ton of them, and he has not taken accountability. And I think that's the biggest part that bothers fans, that pisses people off, because it's like, yo, we're not stupid. New York fans are some of the most knowledgeable fans in sports, period. Not just baseball, not just like any sport. We are one of the most knowledgeable fan bases. We're not stupid people. Like, you didn't do this the right way. You went about it the way you wanted to go about it, because you thought that you can be able to be a penny pincher in a big market with a big payroll. It just doesn't happen. So you need to figure out how to be able to be better here, rather than still having the same mindset that you had in Milwaukee and coming here with that bullshit. It doesn't work. So, we'll see what happens. Sticking on, David Stearns and how this affects the team. Freddy Peralta trade rumors.
Yeah. I heard the Cubs reached out.
No.
No. I agree. I agree with you. I don't know. I'm a little not now. I definitely wouldn't do it now. You can't do it now. If we get close to the trade deadline and it looks like, and the Mets just continue to look like a dead team walking, I think you have to think about it, just because of what you might be able to get back from the Cubs for that. But we need pitching. Like, like next year, if they're going to plan on contending next year,
need pitching.
You're going to need pitching. Like, do we pull a Aroldis Chapman and the Yankees, where like Freddie said that he wants to be here.
Yeah.
So if you trade Freddie to the Cubs, get their best prospects, or get some of their best prospects, and then in the offseason, just be like, Freddie, come on back.
Right.
You did your job. You did your mercenary job. You went and you helped the Cubs win a little bit. They're not going to win the World Series. You help them win a little bit. We got their best prospect. Now come on back. But I don't know. I don't think the Mets are going to trade him.
No, I would hope not. I would hope not. I mean, listen, like you said, we need help with pitching, but I think at the end of the day, you can be able to get away with the young arms that they can be able to call up every so often, get a spot start from this guy. You can do that throughout the entirety of a season. I just don't feel that the Mets should be in business of trying to acquire a pitcher mid-season. Just don't even do it. and leave Freddie alone. Leave Freddie alone. Don't trade Freddie, man. I think if anything, if there's trade rumors going around, just go ahead and extend him. Just go ahead and extend him. Like, I think he's proven enough to be able to get a contract here, because if he is willing to take a 5-year deal, then why not give him a 5-year deal? I'm okay with that. 6 may be a little much. 7's definitely too much, but 5 is okay. I'd take Freddie for 5.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just skeptical, especially with Skubal being hurt. I'm skeptical Freddie and his agent are going to want to sign in season, because they might be like, well, Skubal's hurt. He might not get as much as we thought. Freddie, if he pitches an entire season, knock on wood, he's healthy all year. They might be like, dude, you might get more money in the offseason if people are going to be scared of Skubal's injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, it comes down to Freddie, right? Like, if Freddie tells his agent, "Hey, I want to sign with the Mets. Let's get this extension done now," then
yeah,
that's
true.
What happen.
That's true. I mean?
Like, so the agents work for the player. So,
that's true.
We'll see what happens. If it does happen, I think it would be beneficial just for the Mets, because one, you're locking in a pitcher that you've had a relationship with for a very long time. If we're talking about David Stearns. 2, you're locking in a guy that actually wants to be here and looks like he's going to embrace the challenge of being in New York City and just being around, right? And 3, and I think 3 might be the biggest reason, is that you're going to sign him at a discount if you sign him in season.
Yeah.
Just like you talking about Skubal, if he's back in time, he's 30. I think Skubal's 31? Turning 31, or he's 31. Like, a 10-year deal might be out of the window for him.
29. He's turning 30.
He's turning 30
in November.
So this is a guy that right there on the cusp of what a team can be able to offer him. 8-9 years. You might not want to go there if you're the Mets, but a Freddy Peralta, I got you for 5 at $35 million a year. Yeah, I'll take that.
Oh yeah. But I think it also comes down to, like, if you're telling me that this year is, if this year goes the way it's been, and this is a blip on the radar, this is something that they want to move past. I have a hard time talking. Like, I love prospects. I love the idea of getting young players to come in and produce. But if you're telling me that you're going to try to compete next year, I don't know necessarily if I want to worry about a guy that might be a year or 2 away for whoever you get for Freddie. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I would love for them to, I think at this point, I would love for them to pay him in season and just get the deal done. I guess I'm just always skeptical when it's not even like, sure, he wants to be here, but I don't know how much Freddie wants to be a Met over him wanting to get paid, because money talks.
Right. No,
you know what I mean?
Of course. If the team goes out there and offers him $50 million, you don't think he's going to take that? Of course,
yeah. So that's why, like, I would love for them to get the deal done. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I also don't. I don't think I will, unless we're crazy and they're dead set that they're not going to pay him in the offseason, then yes, trade him. If we're looking dead and you don't plan on giving him the deal that he wants, then 100% trade him.
Yeah, that's my thing. But there has to be some internal discussions that are happening, whether you're gonna see the yay or nay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be in the middle. This is a guy that he's shown the ability that he can be able to pitch here. And is he lights out all the time? No. I think he's still developing as a guy that hasn't had that many years as a front end starter, right? So he's still getting up to that 200 inning mark, and maybe 200 plus, which would be great. So we'll see, man. I like Freddie. I hope he stays, and I hope that David Stearns makes the right move. This has been, we were discussing this when we were getting our topics together, and I've been hearing this a lot from some people. I've heard it, Evan Roberts talked about it. There's a lot of people that were talking about possibly looking at a guy like Rafael Devers as an in-season trade. He's not having a good season. I think he's making like $27 million a year for the next 38 years.
Yeah.
With given all the reclamation projects that we do have on this team, Tom, you take a chance on a guy like Rafael Devers because he's not a reclamation project. This is a guy who's a bona fide all-star, MVP caliber type of player when he's on his game. Do you take a flyer on a guy like that because he's in such a bad offense and I wouldn't say bad organization, but just a bad situation for him? Does plucking a guy like that and sticking him in the middle of your lineup as a cleanup hitter, does that entice you as a fan? And should that entice Met fans to even consider bringing a guy like a Rafael Devers in?
I would probably say yes, only because we were just talking about before, we want to get guys that are going to perform to the back of their baseball card, and Rafi's been good, like you said, all-star.
Yeah. My
only real issue is, one, where are we going to play him? Is he going to play first base? If he's going to play first base, he's got 8 years left. He's signed through 2033.
Wow.
So he's got a lot of time left. Ryan Clifford is not coming here. Is not coming up. He will probably be traded if that's the case.
Yeah.
He's not playing third because Rafi doesn't really look like a good third baseman anymore. And if that's the case, are you willing to have 8 years, 300? So you signed a 10-year, $313.5 million deal. Are you willing to put the rest of that money into a DH spot where we've already decided that Soto's going to have to take some DH days because he's, dealing with some injuries, and that might be Soto's role going forward. He'll play left some days, he'll DH some days. So as much as I would like a guy like Rafi there, just because I know that when he's on, I'm a little worried that, he's a little bit older. How old is he now? Rafi?
29.
29. Yeah, 29. He's got 8 years left. But that's the thing. The Mets offense is so anemic. Like, where else are you going to get production from? It feels like, who else are you going to go try and trade for that's going to give you the production that Rafi could? The 8 years left, the sign to 2033. That's really that's the thing that's really that's given me some pause as to whether or not they should sign him.
Yeah.
Money,
yeah.
I don't care. Money's nothing at this point.
Right. Listen, it's not our money. I tell people all the time, it's not my money. I don't give a shit. But it intrigues me as well, just because of the talent level. But if you can be in the business of getting a Rafael Devers, then you need to be in business to go get yourself a Ryan Orton.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to be aggressive to try to go get somebody that could be able to fill that spot, then comb the league and see exactly what you can be able to get, because there's a lot of talent out there. I'm sure that there's a lot of teams that wouldn't mind not going all the way to the deadline to make deals. If a deal can be struck early on, then they'll go ahead and do it, as long as the package is subsequent and good for them. So it all depends on what Stearns is willing to give up and what player is he actually going after, like a Yandy Diaz, right? Like, I would like a Yandy Diaz on the Mets. Like,
I wouldn't hate it.
We should have traded for him in the offseason, but, it didn't happen. Yandy Diaz would be great, but would the Rays give him up right now because they're playing so well? Probably not, right? So you're going to have to find, maybe a team that's struggling really, really bad to be able to entice them to maybe give up one of their guys that's at that position, right?
True.
So,
yeah.
But I want David Stearns to be aggressive with the search. You don't necessarily have to be aggressive with what package you give it. You're going to give up for that particular player, though.
Yeah, true. And also, again, it's also like, are the Mets going to officially give up on Mark Vientos? Because if it's Rafi Devers or if it's Yandy Diaz, They're playing first base.
Yeah.
You know, like and I think the only thing that might entice you to Rafael Devers is because the deal is so long, you're probably not going to have to give up as much as you would somebody on like an expiring deal because the Giants just want to get the money off the books. They just want to be like, please just get this out of here. I'll take whoever. Just give me a low A, give me a double A pitcher and a bag of baseballs and just take this money off my books.
Here's a question for you. Rafael Devers or Matt Chapman?
Oh, well, how much time has Matt Chapman got on that deal?
He's got some years as well.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Well, then what do you do with Bo? Because Lindor's coming back.
Well, I think at that point you can be able to.
Is Bo going to the Giants? No, right?
No. Bo's not going to the Giants. You would have. I think Simeon goes to the Giants.
Okay. Then what? You move Bo to second?
You move Bo to second, and you have Chapman play third.
What's Chapman doing this year? 227 batting average, 1 homer. Oh yeah, he's had a rough year since he called out. Yeah.
Listen, the entire team basically is having a rough year, and that's why it's like, for me, that might be the team to be able to strike a deal with, just because of what's happening with them, and maybe they want to do a rebuild and whatever it is.
Chapman's got 4 years left on that deal. He's with them until 2030.
4 years left, and how old is he? Was he 30?
33. So he'd be done at 37.
37, 38. So yeah, it's I like Matt Chapman. I think he's a really good player, solid defender, professional guy. I don't mind a guy like Matt Chapman if they were going to go after a guy like that.
Same. No, I could probably. I don't know if I'd necessarily mind. I don't know how excited I'd be just because of how down his year really is. How good was he last year? I think I just had it pulled up and I X'd out of it. Yeah, he batted .231 last year, 21 homers. I mean, I take that over what Beatty's doing.
Yeah.
So
pretty.
I would
average.
probably take. I think I might go Matt Chapman only because of the contract.
Because of the contract, and also too, the defensive upside is still there too.
True. Yeah, Rafi's not a great first baseman.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know. I guess you could also. I guess it is another just dumping salary kind of thing. You probably wouldn't have to trade too much to go get him from the Giants.
No, especially if you're going to throw Simeon into the package. I think it makes sense to be able to do a swap like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure Bo. I mean, I would feel bad for Bo because he's learning too. I mean, he played second, I guess, a little bit in Toronto. But you're having him play like 3 different positions in the same season. We're turning this guy into Jeff McNeil now too.
You get your money's worth, Tom.
Yeah, exactly.
You make $90 million a year. We're gonna stretch you out. Okay?
And I was gonna say, and Bo, and I guess it doesn't matter because Bo's just gonna opt out at the end of the year. But after this season, I don't know if he's gonna.
He may just opt in and say, "There's no way anybody's gonna give me any close to this fucking money. I'm taking it."
Oh yeah, I'm coming back. Yeah, no, absolutely. And hopefully we get a better year out of him next year. But no, I think I'd go Matt Chapman. I think I'd to answer your question, I'd go Matt Chapman.
Yeah, I am in agreement with you, sir.
Rafi for 8 years, man. That would be.
And again, like if you get half of that contract as productive, it's a win.
Matt's or Rafi's?
Rafi's.
Honestly, Ryan Clifford, how old are you? 22. 22. This is his first year in AAA, I think. No, okay, no, he went up to AAA last year.
Yeah.
Do you turn Rafi into do you bring in Rafi, let him play first base for a bit, and then basically just turn him into David Ortiz and just Soto? I really pray and hope that you can play left field most of this time, but you're just going to DH the last part of that deal for Rafi.
Yeah. That's the only problem is that, that position, that DH position is for Soto. And bringing another guy that's a plotting guy that's, obviously Soto's in way better shape, but it's just, that's the trajectory of these guys, that they're going to end up just being hitters. And can you make it work? Of course you can. Is it ideal? No, it's not an ideal fit. So that's why, as much as I would love Rafi, I would be okay with them going after Chapman.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably the better move.
Yeah. Well, listen, I feel good. Mets won 2 in a row. I'm good with that. Who's pitching tomorrow?
Oh, Christian Scott went today. Is it? I feel like I haven't seen McLean in a minute.
So we got McLean for the.
I don't know yet. It's Nolan. I was gonna say it feels like it has to be McLean.
So it's Nolan for the finale.
Nolan for the finale, going for the sweep.
And who are they trotting out there?
Kiter Montero. Never heard of him.
Okay.
3.18 ERA, 29 strikeouts, 8 walks. Damn, McLean's got 57 strikeouts.
He's cooking, man. The kid has a 2.78 ERA. This Montero guy has a 3.18 ERA. Whip is under 1.
Well, look, here's another positive that we didn't touch on. The Mets scored. How many runs did the Mets score the day before yesterday? How many runs did they score yesterday?
Was it 11?
It's 11 runs. What usually happens this year? The Mets score 10 or 11 runs and then score nothing the next day. They scored 3 runs and won the game. So the offense stalled out a little bit, but they actually were able to pull out a win after absolutely stomping the team the day before.
I think the biggest thing to me that impressed me the most is the fact that they did show some fight.
Yeah.
They did show some fight and some, hey, the game's not over type shit. Like, we haven't seen that much all season. And for the last 2 games, we've seen them string some hits together, make some things happen, and boom, right? Like, we're probably going to have to take this day to day, man. We're probably going to have to take this game to game and just see how this team responds. If they start to feel confident after like a 5-game stretch where they're playing good baseball and they go 5-0, 4-1, then now you're going to start seeing a different team in regards to feel.
Yeah.
They're trying their best, and I salute them, because being able to try to put a smile on, especially when things are not well, is such a weird profession to be in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when I'm not feeling good and I don't want to be bothered with anybody, I just don't speak. But these guys have to go ahead and support each other. They got to make sure that they're available for media tours or press conferences, post-game, pre-game. Like, there's a lot of pressure on these guys to just be able to try to come together, and they might not have had that yet. They might not have had their bonding moment in the season yet, right? Which always does come. So, or it doesn't. It might take somebody to be able to start something, but it's frustrating, but you can only hope.
Exactly. To everybody, stop thinking about the playoffs. Just think about the next game.
Yeah.
Just think about tomorrow. That's all you got to think about. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, there's always next year.
It's always next year. Any final thoughts, my friend?
Is anybody going to Mars?
Oh, of course, I got one.
Okay, cool.
I don't have a graphic.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I wasn't sure if I wasn't sure if anybody was worthy of going to Mars just yet.
100%. There's not many, although you could classify it as many. So my mission to Mars this week, it's going to be an old graphic, but it has everything to do with him. It's David Stearns and the training staff of the New York Mets. Now, I've never seen this many people on the damn IL in my life in regards to the money. There's like $400 million on this team. It's like a $200 million on the IL. What the hell is going on? I don't understand what they're doing in regards to the training staff. What is the message? Are you not massaging these guys? Or what is going on here? I don't trust them. I don't trust this training staff to do anything. If somebody has a cut in their finger, don't let the training staff do it because you might end up getting a staph infection. I do not trust them to do anything. For them to be able to look at Polanco and say, yeah, you got an Achilles problem, but we're going to let you play through it, right? So if it pops, you let us know. We don't think so, but let us know. And he's just like, so you want me to play on a bad leg? Okay, got it. Like, when have you ever heard that? And then 2.5 weeks later, they say, you know what? That Achilles, yeah, we're going to have to put you on the IL. He was probably looking at them like, yo, we could have did this 2 weeks ago. I could have just been here chilling, rehabbing, getting better. But you wanted me to keep running on an Achilles problem, which means that I could have ended up getting a strain, a calf strain, because all that shit is connected. That's why you don't fuck around with stuff like that.
I don't remember who it was. It bothers me that I can't remember. There used to be a guy on the Mets training staff that got booed every home opener. I forgot his name.
What year was that? There was a stretch.
It was a few years.
Yeah, there was a stretch, bro, where we had the worst medical staff in the game.
Yeah, it feels like that again right now. It feels like that right now.
It does.
David Stearns also he must be collecting frequent flyer miles. Because he's up in Mars like every other week, it feels like.
He has a guest suite up there.
He makes enough money, so he could probably buy a house on Mars.
Yeah, he got a guest suite up there. You know what I mean? With all these UFO files that dropped, he's not shocked. He's not shocked. Yeah, I've been through this. I've been up there a while.
I'm friends with the Martians.
Right, friends with them. You know, they told me to sign Polanco. You know what I mean? So this is my thing, man. If y'all don't shape it up, you're gonna get shipped out, and shipped out to one of these flying saucers are gonna pick you up and send you to Mars. So the training staff needs to get better for the Mets. I am completely disgusted. I don't trust them, and you know that's why I don't want anybody to just volunteer to go to the IL. You know, if Soto is banged up with his ankle, I rather trust Soto to just tape it up and put some Robitussin on it or some Vicks and go about your business. Don't trust the staff to do nothing for you. Okay, you're Dominican. You can be able to go get some home remedies and go deal with the ankle that way. Don't have them touch you. Don't have them touch you. And you know what? And hey, now going back to Sean Manaea, maybe that's why Sean Manaea doesn't want to get the surgery. He's like, I don't trust you guys. I don't trust y'all to go inside this damn elbow or tell me where to go. I don't trust none of you people. I'm going to go ahead and get my own people, get my own doctor, get my own remedies because I don't trust you. I don't trust you.
I agree with you.
You never know.
I wouldn't either.
You never know. Sean and I say, I'd rather have these floating bodies in my elbow than have you touch me. You know what I mean? So get it together, Mets training staff, medical staff, or else you're going to Mars. Because I would love to see an entire overhaul of this medical staff because it's been horrible. It's been absolutely horrible. Any final thoughts?
They got another series win. May doesn't look as bad as April, and let's get that sweep tomorrow.
The sweep would make me feel over the moon. It would.
Oh, it'd be great.
Like Nolan McLean comes out tomorrow, 11 Ks, 6 innings, you know, two hit baseball.
Oh, you know that'd be beautiful.
That's what I want to see. Dominate them and send their ass back to Detroit.
Hell yes. Is it a day game? It's a 1-10 game tomorrow.
And hopefully this is a precursor to the Eastern Conference Finals if Detroit wins. Pack their asses up and get your ass to the NBA Finals, New York Knicks.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Your lips to God's ears.
Yeah. You know, I'm a Lakers fan. I'm suffering right now, but I'm rooting for those Knicks because I picked them. I picked the Knicks I think my pick for the finals was Knicks Spurs start the season, and boy, do I look good right now.
Hell yeah.
We'll see what happens, man. But the Mets are giving us reason to be hopeful. They're giving us reason to be a little happy. There's some young prospects here. There's some youth. There's some talent. There's some grit that we've seen. Guys are, Bichette, he's still very unlucky. I think they said he's one of the most unlucky baseball players right now in the league in regards to, like, he's supposed to be like maybe 50 points higher in his average just because he's hitting it hard and it's just not falling for him right now. So just like how Benj got out of it, Soto will get out of it. I believe Bichette will go ahead and turn things around as well. Now I'm talking myself into having a good season.
There you go. I'm proud of you. There you go. See, it's not all doom and gloom. You could talk yourself into anything.
It's not all doom and gloom. It's the hat. This is what
Wear that hat more then. Wear that hat more then.
Yeah, it's a hat.
I want to see more of that hat and less hat with half Yankee logos on it.
You know what I'm gonna do when I'm pissed off with the Mets? I'm gonna go ahead and wear that hat so it can bother you.
Oh my God, I hate it so much.
When I'm happy, I'll go ahead and put this one on. So
good. Well, hopefully you're happy more often than not.
Yeah. Well, they need to give me a reason. Okay. And I'll probably turn the corner. I'll be honest with you. I'll probably turn the corner and be a lot more positive consistently when Mike Talkman gets here. Once he gets here, I'm all right.
There we go.
See Talkman in the lineup, I'll be fine. But Talkman's not here. You had Austin Slater out of. Who was the other guy that they cut? What's his name?
I don't remember.
Whatever the hell his name was.
I don't remember.
Ibanez.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was somebody else that
Ibanez.
just cut. He stinks.
Garbage. Can you imagine having all of this money and you go to Andy Ibanez? What's happening?
Oh, my God. It's terrible. It is, as Joe Beningo would say, a disgrace.
A disgrace. Oh, the pain. So until next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace.